Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism. So I want to start this episode off with something a little bit different. I have made some changes to Kerbalism, and I've done that because I want to just make life a little bit easier for me overall. I haven't changed the profile at all. That's not done it. It's all done via ModualManager. Right. Anyone that's familiar with ModualManager will recognise these things here. Basically, what I've done here is I am taking, I've done my little crew adjustment, which I've done on my custom profile. Any pod that has crew, it will now have a equal number of configuration slots to how many seats it has. So things like these cupolas have one, and the the EL survey station has 4, I think, or is it 3? 3 or 4, one of the two, but it's got 4. It's got 4 seats, so it would have 4 configurations to it, and that's for every craft. These patches will only have effect on new craft that are launched. They don't affect current craft, so you can obviously edit the save files to that. I have done a little bit there. This next line here, this is for the ISRUs. This basically speeds them up, makes them twice as fast. I did try some higher numbers, but I had issues with heating, so I think twice as fast is nice. That just means rather than having to wait 1,200 years for my fuel to be filled, it's going to be 600 years instead, which is still mad. But I think we just need to expand that base. That's the problem with it. But on the moon, that's fine. And that one's there just to keep the drills in line with it, so they can harvest the water fast enough. If you know how ModualManager works, you'll recognise these here. If not, I'm not an expert on this at all, so I'm going to get things wrong here, but basically the @ symbol means you're modifying something, modifying a part. This means I'm modifying all parts that has a crew capacity greater than 1 or greater than 0. And the needs option, you need Kerbalism, you need profile default. Now this is the reason I've used the ModualManager patch and not used custom profile. Some other mods have support for Kerbalism built in, and in those mods, when they have a patch to change things, they will be looking for the default profile. If they don't find it, it will just revert back to its default settings, which causes problems. So if you're making a custom profile for Kerbalism, or using a custom profile, there's a few of them out there, you need to go through the mod list that you have and see whether it supports Kerbalism, and if it's got this option in there. And then you need to either copy their settings through it or make your own one up. It becomes a little bit more complicated. My last series I had issues with the MKS base buildings, particularly like the nuclear reactors and the ISRUs, were using the default Kerbal system rather than the Kerbalism one because they were looking for the default profile. But this just gets around that. That means that these changes will just change the default profile like that. I have been looking to see if there's a way to get custom processes or something, but I've had no luck with that yet because I'd really like to change my craft over to be methane and oxidizer like the BFR is. I just think I like that, but yeah. And the last bit here, after Kerbalism, that just basically means make these changes after Kerbalism has loaded. So Kerbalism will do its thing, and then these changes will happen to it. So all the RSRUs and bits and pieces will have all their settings done to them, and then it'll just be doubled up. And the same for the drill, so they'll have everything done and then doubled up. So that makes sense. Yeah. If you do want a more detailed explanation of that, let me know and I can see if I can try and explain it to you, but I'm no expert. There are lots of people out there who are wonderful at doing ModualManager patches, so have a look around, you'll find them. It's amazing what power you can have. You can use this to change anything you want. You can just put the part name in here and yeah, change whatever you like. The second change that I've done is actually to this here, the smelter. I was having issues again where this was randomly exploding for no reason whatsoever, and I couldn't figure it out at all. I don't know why. So what I've done, in the smelter parts for extraplanetary launch pads, here there is a max temperature option. It's normally set to 2500. That causes it to explode for no reason. So I set it to 250,000. There are 3 of them because there are 3 different versions of this smeltery, so you have to change all 3 of them. And that just basically allows you to it allows the part to get hotter before it explodes. Clearly that would be an issue if your craft is overheating, because it would cause everything to explode, because this would get even hotter than it does normally. But I found that by setting that up there, I come here and my panels are like, I mean here they're like I was on the dark side of the planet. I think they were on 6%, and still that was exploding. So I don't know why. It's something weird. But if you're having that issue, go into the part config in extraplanetary launchpad. So you can see the path there, and the smelter one, and just change anywhere you find max temp. There are 3 of them. Let me show you. There's one here. There's one there. Another one there. Change it to 250,000. That works. That still works. It's not getting around the heat problem because it will still generate heat. It just prevents stuff from exploding. So, with that in mind, let's get on with this episode, shall we? So, first things first, if we want to move this over to the moon, I'm going to want to replace it in orbit of Kerbin with a very simple refueling station. And rather than launch one, why don't we just build one? We've got plenty of parts, we've got plenty of bits and pieces, let's do that. We do have a craft sat here though, my little test one here. Finalise that up and watch the camera go really nuts. That's fine. Down here again, please. This is an RCS. I can't remember what this is. Oh no, I don't want to rename it. We want to release it, I suppose. Off you go. Signal lost with clawed tug. Oh, it's back in. Right, okay. So, yes, yeah, this was going to be what I was going to use to grab things and manoeuvre them about in close proximity to this. So, I mean, I suppose we could kind of keep this, but oh, actually, no, I do want to keep this. I really do. I have a little docking port on board it. Do I have somewhere to dock it to? Did I put any tiny docking ports on this? I do not remember. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. There's one right there. Okay. Right, okay. So, let's dock it to that. I don't know if that needs to be extended or not to actually dock. We shall find out in a moment. Just point radar out. That's out, please. There you go. Guessing that does need to be extended. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's want to extend that, but I don't want to do it whilst that craft's there. Why not? I'll push it out of the way. Boom. Oh! And I've broken a solar panel already. How awesome is that? This was just a test craft anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. I'm not all that fussed about it. Really need to control from here. That would really help. There we go. Right, turn that off. That should hook on. There we are. Okay. Right, yeah, that as I said, that was just a little test craft to that. I probably don't need that because all the craft I'm sending up are capable of docking by themselves, but whatever. So we want to build Kerbin Station Refueler. This one here. That is going to be 6,000 rocket parts. We have all the bits and pieces here. Seems good. We have no depleted fuel, but that's fine. And for some reason it wants enriched uranium. Why would it want enriched uranium? Oh, because it has a nuclear reactor on board. Oh, that's a problem. That is a problem. We can't build the nuclear reactor. We'd have to send one up, launch one up. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. This station probably does want a uranium storage bay on it anyway, so we'll just build that as is. That's going to take 2 days to build. That's fine because we need to upgrade. This needs 2 more points on it yet. 2 more plugs, rocket parts and bits and pieces. So we're okay for that. Generally, things are good. I feel as if things are going to be okay with this. So, I suppose the next protocol is to launch the 2 points at the bottom and also launch some form of uranium storage. And so we launch our 6 additional lower tanks to complete the station. There are 3 rocket fuel tanks to go in the centre, and then 2 scrap metal and 1 metal container to go on the outside, or vice versa. I can't remember which. But yeah, they're going to go up. It's also got an additional engine for balance, so we should be able to use our craft to move to the moon without it going terribly wrong. But the biggest thing is that it's got no enriched uranium on board because we don't have any way to store that stuff. Can't actually send it up in separately. So instead, I've sent up another small nuclear reactor with the idea of simply swapping out the one we're going to build with one that's actually got uranium on board. And hopefully that'll work. I think it will. Obviously I've done it before, so I don't see any reason why not. So here we are at the station with a really unwieldy rocket. Because I've got the nuke on this side and it's spinning around and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things, and I've got the tanks slightly wrong, so the engine's going to be in the centre rather than on the end like I hoped it was going to be, but oh well. Right, okay, so what I was saying. Right. Stop. Okay. So first and foremost, we need to plug this into that side there. Is easier said than done, because as I said, this is really unwieldy. I do have my tug if I feel I need it. Don't quite yet. I'm not worried about smashing the solar panels off the bottom of the craft. I'm entirely honest with you. We do also need to connect these ports to the end, because we are going to be welding this thing together. That one first, I think. Rifle, please. Go. And need to get those down a little bit. Kind of flat. There we go. Every time I try and turn it left or right, as we're currently looking at it, it wiggles because obviously this side is much heavier. So it's quite difficult to do, but yeah, you see here I'm now facing downwards a bit. So need to bring the nose up a little tiny bit. It's just one of those awkward little things. Because of its design. It's simple as that. Because of its design. But anyway, I am going to not bore you to death with docking procedure once again. I will obviously swap out one of these or two of those on the ends for those two there. I will attach this part here, attach that part to the center, and I will see you once everything is plugged in and kind of working. Okay, so we are together, but we need to weld these together. I have just saved, so I'm not all that worried about it going terribly wrong. Let's put this to 90 degrees, enable snap, and compress and rotate. Oh! That is why you save before welding a ship together. Okay, so rotation matters. I had to take this and this part off here, get them out, spin around 180 degrees and plug them in again, and now it works, and you see they are linked. Everything is plugged in together, everything is awesome, and we are good to go if we wanted to go, but we don't yet. We want to wait. I'm going to shut down that engine. Shut down that engine. I probably am not even going to use this engine here, to be honest. I don't know even whether I... oh, for some reason I didn't actually have that as separable. Oh, the sun's come out. Yeah. Yeah. But a few things obviously we need to take off, the nuclear reactor, bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. I've got all these little Werner engines. I'm probably just going to take them off and recycle them. They're just purely for docking purposes. But yeah, that is our station pretty much complete and ready to transfer to the moon. All we have to do is wait. Wait, what? Wait. No, we don't. What's going on here? Apparently I have 1 day, 3 hours left before this is ready. What's happened? What do you mean by finalised build? Oh, okay, that got built a lot quicker than I expected. Why did that get built a lot quicker than we thought? Is that a weird problem with linking the craft together? Ooh, I don't know. Right, but what I don't want to do is I do not want to give it any... Oh, I can give it enriched uranium now. Not sure how. This may be able to transfer the uranium from my current reactors, which isn't a bad thing. I don't want to give it any fuel or oxidizer. Okay, I can apparently give it scrubber and humidity. This is something that's a little bit weird. These are the Kerbalism things, and I'm not sure whether it plays nice with extra planetary launch pads. I think that's the reason my moon miner went wrong originally. When I launched it, obviously I didn't have any water electrolysis, didn't have any of that resource, because in the background it works as a resource. So when I built it, it was empty. So when I got to where I wanted to go to, it wouldn't work. So I'm not entirely sure if that is a problem or not. I suppose I will figure it out in time. But I think for the minute we shall just release this. There we are. You should just instantly come back to being normal, because you can. We will step you up. Want you normal, and it doesn't really matter about the rotation. But yeah, there we are. We have a refueling station, a very, very simple refueling station. I have tried here, if you can see, I've got the main docking port and then I've got a little one in the centre. I don't know whether that's going to work or not. Hoping it does, so I can dock craft. I've got one this way as well. I can dock craft with smaller ports to it than the large one. If not, I have to put some other ports somewhere else. I'm not really sure. Probably put some solar panels on this as well, but oh well. Right, I'm going to turn that down to something like 5% or something, because it really does not need 3 electric charge. What are we using? We are going up in electric charge. Awesome. Awesome. Right, so close that. And yeah, there we go. That's our new refueling station in orbit of Kerbin. This is going to be our moon refinery. Heading over to the moon. Am going to undock this, and this is going to join that station. Ooh, whoa. This is going to actually plug itself into this station here. I'm really confused on these controls still. So we're back. We kind of line ourselves up. And the autosave kicks in again. Autosave is really, really slow. It's writing like 4 meg files on my saves. There we go. Right. Not that that's going to help at all, because the solar panels aren't really going to get anything to it, but that's not the point. That's there in case something can't dock to this, so it can be a tug. I do, for this, I want to actually grab the other probes, planes, that. Yeah, I want to grab that, and have that actually dock with this when we go. That's my recycler probe. It's got the little tiny recycler bin on it. So yeah, I want to take that with me. But I don't know why. But they've got stuff around the moon to clear up, so that's probably why. But this is pretty much ready to travel to the moon. So all that's left to do is to dock our little recycler probe to the side. Shouldn't be too difficult, I think. And then I need to have a look at this enriched uranium, because I'm not really sure where it's come from. If that makes any sense. I need to check that it's not obviously coming out of one reactor and is leaving the other one empty. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean. I need to just make sure that the reactor that we're actually using is the important one and is working, and we're not going to leave it starving or anything odd. Oh, there we go. That was nice and easy. We are plugged in and connected. Awesome. Right. So let's aim the camera down here, because I believe this is it here. Yeah, you've got no rich uranium. It's gone, which means you aren't working at all. If we deactivate that and go to this one down here. Oh, come on, thank you. You do have enriched uranium. Transfer fuel. Left click on a part to transfer nuclear fuel. There. Okay. And if I start the reactor, There we go, we're back. We're back. Awesome sauce. Right. I'm going to drop that down to about 50%. It probably doesn't need that much power. That doesn't mean that reactor at the back there is completely wasted now, but, well, yep. It is kind of a shame, although we are not that far away from it. I was thinking I was going to take all these Werner engines and plug them on this bottom part here, detach it, grab it with the claw and drop it in the recycler, because that just makes sense in my head. That makes sense to just do that, just to have it so we've only got the one engine on board. But I suppose we can just do that whenever. We've also got these extra docking ports and bits and pieces poked around everywhere. I want to take the docking ports from there and put them on the end, I think. There and there. And I was going to take that one off and put another one on the end there. So we've always got options to do things. And even when we get up to the moon, I was going to detach this here, and this wouldn't have any engines on it at all. So, yeah. But then, well, I don't know. I mean, this could be expanded to have better living quarters on board. I definitely need one of those rings, or two of those habitat rings, to keep Kerbals happy. But there's no reason why it couldn't be expanded and become a... well, it could move on to Duna as well, I suppose. It's got rocket parts, it's got everything it needs. It just doesn't have the comfort levels that Kerbals want. That's the problem, I think, here. Kerbal Station... info... comfort is modest. So... not too bad, I suppose. The Kerbals... they're a little bit stressed, but not a great deal. They have only been up here a few days, so... well, actually, they've been up on the old station for quite a while, and this one's the new one, so... but, yeah. I suppose it's just a case of... seeing where it goes. Let's first and foremost, let's go to the moon, shall we? Let's do that. Let's set the moon as our target. Add a maneuver and let's just go. Let's just go. What's the worst that could happen? I suppose, you know, death is probably the worst that could happen, but we'll ignore that. We'll ignore the death part, and look, see here. That's going to put us nicely in orbit. We are going to eat the moon station that's currently up there. Although I will take off some parts from it because we want to grab a few more of those mini docking ports. But I think our refueling ship uses the small docking ports. So yeah. So shut down, and shut down, and then activate and unlock that fuel there. Activate, okay. Wow, according to that, that's an 8-minute burn with that engine. A 4-minute burn with both, but I can't do it with both because the centre of mass isn't correct. I don't even know where my centre of mass is. What if I reset the camera? The camera usually points at centre of mass. Centre of mass looks to be centre of the ship. And I've still got the left click to transfer fuel, but yeah, I suppose I could always untake that, take the engine and put it down there. Yeah, I think we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out, and then we will go to the moon. But that is going to have to wait until the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, as always, have fun.